Welcome, everybody, to Wrestling with the Week, a legendary slingshot suplex on the last 7 days. I'm your host, James Williams, joined, of course, by Scorpio Sky.
James, what a week.
Yeah, for sure. What a week. This is probably the first time we're going to have What a Week where we're actually kind of looking forward to the future, though. Because this week we're going to be talking Dynamite reactions. Obviously, I want to know if Shaq is even still alive. We're also going to be introducing Sky to the future of sports collectibles. But this is Revolution Week, okay? So we are going to be giving you our official, well, my official. I don't think Sky has to go on record on any of this stuff, but Revolution predictions. We got a packed show, so I think we should jump right into it. Sky, what the hell happened on Dynamite this week?
Well, there was quite a big moment where Shaquille O'Neal, four-time NBA champion, one of the greatest basketball players in history, got put through not one, but two tables by Cody Rhodes. Did you see that? Did you expect it? Because I sure didn't.
No, and it's the kind of thing I'll say as a wrestling fan, it's always whenever like a celebrity or some sort of a person like that is getting into the ring, you're like, all right, well, let's see what they're gonna do. And this was such an amazing example of like Shaq was over there going like, whatever you want, like, let's do something big. Like, I want to do something big. Put me in danger over there. Like I want to show people that I'm not afraid of this.
Well, there's a couple of things I will point out, and that is Shaq's obvious respect for the business. For one, he is a performer, and you saw it from the moment he walked out. Like, a lot of times when people get in the wrestling business, they want to rush on things. You see how nice and slow he walked out. He looked around. The charisma was there. He looked at the crowd. And again, he's a lifelong performer, but professional wrestling is different. Breaking down the Brody Lee tribute powerbomb, which I thought was phenomenal. Like I didn't even pick up on it at first live. I only picked up on it on replay. I thought that was really, really cool. And another thing that I will point out, and I had a little conversation with Jade before the show, and I complimented her on her gear because I thought she looked great. And I asked, is Shaq going to wear wrestling gear? And she said, no, I wanted him to, but he doesn't want to because he said, I'm not a wrestler. You guys are wrestlers. And basically, like, he didn't want to disrespect the business by wearing wrestling gear. And I thought, how cool is that? You've got one of the biggest stars in history, and he's got a deep respect for the business to the point to where like he doesn't want to look like he's trying to be what he's not. But I thought he did a phenomenal job.
Oh yeah. If you think about that as a match, it had some big moments. Like, it honestly reminded me of like a really classic, like, throwback Hogan versus Andre the Giant kind of situation. Like, it really had that storytelling and that performance to it, and I really, really enjoyed that aspect of it. Like, if you're not gonna do a whole flip routine and like super kicks and stuff like that, like, you should make sure there's a presence. And it was felt in just those few moments where he and Cody like had their standoff. Like, it was kinetic.
It was fun, man. Like, watching the match, and also I want to give credit to Jade and Red Velvet. Red Velvet's obviously pretty new to AEW. She's only been around, less than a year, and to be put in a position like that, like, I mean, that's a huge spot for anybody. I mean, if you're a 10 plus 15 year vet, if you're in a moment like that, like, it can swallow you. And then Jade, this is her first match. Like, this is her first wrestling match. And I thought they delivered. They both came off looking like stars. They brought it. They did not look like they were swallowed by the moment. They looked like they belonged in that moment. And so I'm really, really proud of them. Cody obviously always brings it. He is who he is for a reason. And Shaq. And that's what I really, really liked about this match, is that everybody brought it. And it was a really entertaining segment. And it was a good match. It wasn't just entertaining. It was actually a good match. So props to all four of them. It was great. And props to the Gun Club. Like, did you see Austin Gunn smash Shaq in the back with that steel chair, and then Shaq just no sells? Like, how good was that?
I know. I think there's certain people who could no sell a chair shot, and I feel like Shaq is maybe one of them. There, on this planet, there's only maybe a dozen, And I think he could get away with it for sure.
Yeah. I can't stress it enough. He just gets it. Overall, great segment. Everybody brought it.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it felt like I was just seeing some Dynamite reactions just in my own explorations of the internet. And a lot of people were like, wait, was this the pay-per-view? Like, it wasn't. But so many people, there's such an excitement in that event that it felt like it had pay-per-view quality. And it's weird to put those hierarchies there, but like people are like, there's so much going on. And you had Shaq, you had Tully Blanchard returning to the ring in like a really incredible tag team match. Like it was pretty remarkable moments,
Yeah, I kept telling Tully before the match, I said, I'm next. Like, I know you're going to kill it, and I'm next. I want a match with you. And I would love to wrestle Tully, honestly. I think him and I could have a really good match. I thought he did great. What did we say he was? I think we looked it up on last week's episode. He was like 67 or something.
He is 67. He is 67 years old, yes.
Yeah.
67 years old, still pulling off the slingshot suplex. As I said, still knocking out 500 squats in one workout. Like, what a beast, man. He killed it. And J.J. Dillon came back. Like, and obviously not the only comeback, but Sean Spears made an appearance. So, there's something going on there, obviously.
Definitely did notice the return of Sean Spears. My favorite part about that was when Jim Ross, like, it's like, oh, there's a cameraman there, a masked cameraman. And then Jim Ross is like, I mean, that's got to be a plant, right? And I'm like, okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate you just coming out and saying it. Well, Tony Schiavone is going like, why is that cameraman wearing a mask?
JR's honesty, I love it. Because he was thinking the same thing we're all thinking, but he didn't try to hide it. Like, we're all thinking, like, what is, like, for one, that's a very big cameraman, and two, cameramen don't normally get involved in matches, so I'm assuming this is going to be some type of an ally. It being Sean Spears, it makes sense. Same manager, Tully Blanchard. It looks like there's some sort of group. And then I didn't really understand what it meant with Arn coming out and throwing up the sign at the end. I don't know, is he going to be with them?
Yeah.
Is he just giving them props and respect? It's going to be interesting to see where that goes next. Another good segment. I thought it was really good. And I can't overlook how great Jurassic Express were. I've been really impressed with them in this entire rivalry they've had with FTR. They've had amazing matches. I feel like it's not over, and I'm interested to see more of this, and I'm hoping the fans do too.
And the thing is, we're focusing a lot on the wrestling in Dynamite, but something that I thought really stood out was the Inner Circle press conference. It was like just a fun segment. Like, it harkened back to, like, it's not always about how you perform in the ring. I mean, I guess technically they were in the ring, but it just felt like a fun concept where you have these people coming up, ask questions. You just basically it's just a setup for Jericho and MJF to rip everyone down to shreds while talking themselves up. I just thought it was a really fun segment.
Yeah, those are always fun. I can always get into those. I think this is maybe the third time we've been able to watch one of those, and they're just always fun. Great little way to break up the monotony of having wrestling matches on the show, and just get out and get some character over and have fun. Like I said, so I dig it as well.
And then I think last but not least, another big moment is everything is leading towards Revolution. And we had Nyla Rose face off against Riho. And so now it was a pretty awesome match. And I don't know, it's just wild to see people beat the crap out of each other. And that's the kind of things you're used to seeing from like these knockdown, drag out, hardcore matches between someone like a Mick Foley and someone else. And now you have these two women in the ring beating the hell out of each other in these same ways. And it's weird how all these perceptions have flipped. But it makes me really excited to see what they're going to do. Even at the end, I was like, oh, it's interesting. She's being very, very, very kind with her competition, her challenger coming up. And then they just start walloping on each other. And I was like, geez, why women wrestling are just beating the hell out of each other. Stuff that I would never touch with a 1,000-foot pole. I mean, you can put a bruise on my face. So
I don't know a ton about Riho. Obviously, She had a great performance last night, or at the time we were recording this, it was last night. A really good match. I thought Nyla always brings it. I really wanted. I was cheering for Nyla to win this match because I wanted to see another Nyla Shida match. They've locked up a couple of times and they were really, really good. So me personally, I was hoping to see a rematch with those two, which I'm sure we will get down the line, whether it be for the title or not for the title. But Riho, props to her, and great performance, got the win, and I'm sure her and Shida are going to kill it at Revolution, which is, Sunday, possibly at the time of recording this, maybe in a few hours. I'm very much looking forward to that. But I would say that is not last but not least, because Max Caster defeated 10 to qualify for the Face of the Revolution ladder match. I was on commentary. I had a front row, I guess technically not front row, but I had a very good seat to see the match. And I had a very cool hoodie on that they didn't show enough.
Man, okay, so you were on commentary. You were on fire. Did someone were you backstage and you just got fired up? You were shot out of a cannon last. What happened? You were all about it? You just feel fired up about this match or what?
I knew I was told earlier in the day I was going to be doing commentary on the match, and I was walking around not too long before it, and I was thinking, and I just thought, man, sometimes one of the things I like to say is be humble, but sometimes you got to let them, you know what I mean? Let them know to censor myself. And I'm tired of being quiet and humble and overlooked, and underestimated. And I was walking around yesterday and I was thinking about it and it got to me. And I said, and I went in fired up, to be honest with you. I said, humble hasn't really got me anywhere. I would love to just kind of sit back and chill and let other people beat the drum of saying that I'm one of the best wrestlers in the entire company, because I don't want to have to say it myself, but the drum's not getting beat enough. People aren't saying it enough. So if I have to beat my own drum, pum, you know what I mean? It's like Arn used to say, I hate to toot my own horn, but toot. And so sometimes you got to step over that line and you got to do it. And so I definitely got carried away. It felt good, to be honest, and say, yeah, I'm one of the best in the company. And so I'm getting fired up right now talking about it, to be honest with you. And I think some people are probably thinking it's a little bit of a show or I'm putting on an act, but I'm not. Realistically, I said it on commentary last night. Who in the company is more overlooked than me? There's nobody more overlooked than me based off where I am in my talent level, and I know what I'm capable of. And that was my moment to let everybody know, and that's exactly what I tried to do.
I thought that when you said that 50% of you was better than 100% of all these other guys, that got me. I was I'm on my couch watching this thing, and then I'm standing up going hell yeah, give it to them. Show them what's up. That's what I'm talking about.
Letting them know, man. I'm coming off of a torn meniscus, and I don't even have to be 100% because I'm planning on going in the ring on Sunday at Revolution and putting on an absolute show. By God, hopefully I stay healthy and I'm able to do it. But like I said, 50% of me is better than 100% of damn near everybody else we have. And that's what I want to prove. And you can talk all you want. I can say all I want on here and I can say all I want on commentary. But if I don't go in the ring at Revolution and back it up, then it's just talk. So now I got to go back it up. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to say it, because one of the things I have learned is when you, whether it's a goal or whatever it is, say it out loud, and it puts yourself on the spot. Now it's out there. Now people heard you. And so now you have to live up to it or be looked at as a failure. And I'm not planning on being looked at as a failure.
I relate to that, I feel like, on a very emotional level, because just the other week I tweeted about how I would like to write for Power Rangers, and I feel like that's basically the same thing.
It is. No, it is. I mean, man, you got to put it out there. You got to put it out there, even if it doesn't even have to be publicly. I had a party, right before COVID, and I had a buddy of mine, Royce Isaacs. He's a wrestler out of Southern California, really talented, and him and I were having a good conversation, and I asked him, I said, what do you want to do? And and he's like, I want to work for a big company, And I said, you got to say it. You know, like, and he was kind of hesitant to say it at first, but I was like, man, you got to say it, even if it's just to yourself, even if it's just in front of your friends. You got to say it. You got to put it out there. And, you know, whether you want to say put it out in the universe, you know, and let it come back to you. Now it's out there. Now you got to work for it. Now you're on the spot. Now people know what you want to do. So you can't just hide behind like, you know, I'd like to kind of do this. No, the people know what the goal is, and you know what the goal is most importantly, and you got to reach for it. So.
When are we going to see the 50% of me t-shirts dropping in the AEW store?
That's not a bad idea. Maybe I should put out 50% of me t-shirts. Let's get somebody on the design team to work on that. AEW, Dana Massey, maybe a loyal listener, I'm sure.
It's too good. It's too good of a catchphrase not to merchandise for sure. And I
what
just
about that Kanye-ish hoodie though? Did you see that hoodie?
Yeah, you should do that.
That hoodie was
I like
fresh,
that.
bro.
Then you were yelling that you wanted that camera on you. You're just like, I'm wearing this Kanye-ish hoodie. Get the camera on me. And no one would do it. And it was just like, you're being held down. You're being held down.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not on the show enough. And they get me on the show and they only give me a few clips. I'm like, the people want to see, man. And look what I'm wearing. It's like a $90 hoodie I had on, man. Come on. Like, I was looking fresh. Get me on, you know? Like, come on. The ladies want to see it.
Is that the new Ric Flair? You're like, I got a $90 hoodie.
Yeah, and it's not like, you know, like the $1,500 alligator shoes. It's like, yo, I paid $90 for this at the Gap. No, like,
I gotta fight for my hotel rooms. I got $90 hoodies. I got pure white shoes.
Yeah, it's hood rich.
Yeah.
It's hood rich. It's not like it's a little different these days.
Yeah, it's a little different, but it's still. I think it's style over price tag for sure. And you got the style, you have the energy. I'm super excited. We're gonna get into our formal predictions for Revolution, and that includes your match, Face of the Revolution ladder match, a little bit later on the show. But there are some things other than wrestling that have happened this week, and I think we should kind of get into them, maybe chat those things up a little bit, and then we'll come right back. We'll hit it hard and powerbomb our Revolution predictions for the end of the show. And I had something that I really wanted to bring up to you because I know the things that you're interested in. I know you love the NBA, you're a sports nut, you know, all kinds of things. Have you ever did you collect cards as a kid? You ever have trading cards or anything like that growing up? Was that ever part of your fandom?
Yes. Actually, even though I'm not a huge baseball fan, and I never really was a huge baseball fan, I was a big baseball cards fan. I mean, like every kid kind of was, right? And you get the gum in the package. Probably really dating myself with that. But I remember you get the gum in the package, and that was always fun, right? So where I think I might have an idea where you're going with this, but you're going to have to explain it to me.
Okay, so have you heard of Top Shots?
No.
Okay, so Top Shots is this new thing, and again, like most stuff on this show, I don't know every detail about it. I read about it, I try and learn as much as I can. Top Shots is the new modern equivalent, the 21st century version of sports trading cards and sports memorabilia. Now, what it is you can basically buy a basketball clip. So LeBron slam dunk, hitting a three or whatever. Those replays that they show on ESPN or what have you, you can own that clip. And it seems crazy because obviously, why did you go on YouTube and watch it? No, these clips are digitally engraved with serial numbers that make them one of a kind. And then people are trading them and selling them on the internet for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Okay. I did hear something about this. I didn't know the exact details. I'm sure someone has asked this question before, but I have to do it. Have these people heard of YouTube?
That's the thing that I don't understand. It's clearly not a matter of being able to see it. It's a matter of being able to say you own it, right? So if you this is a bad example, but say you own the Mona Lisa, that's not going to stop anyone from being able to see a picture of the Mona Lisa, right?
Right. I guess so.
But
so
you
if
own
anybody out there is interested, I would like to get into this business, not quite with the digital clips, but I probably shouldn't say this on air, but I do have some LeBron James Air right here, and I would be willing to part with it. If you're a loyal listener of Wrestling with the Week, I will part with it for a low price of $10,000 for some LeBron James Air. And I might even have some Tom Brady. Yeah, the Tom Brady Air is also here. Some goat air. Yeah, so if you want to breathe some goat air, the Tom Brady, he just got his 7th. Let's go $12,000 for this one, 10 for the LeBron. If you want both of them, I'll give them to you for $28,000. You know, how about that?
I mean, I would 100% not take you up on that, but you may be surprised who would take you up on that. The thing is, you need to be able to verify with some sort of weird, this is like, I guess not, you know how, I don't know how Bitcoin works entirely, but it's kind of that facet of things where now we are assigning digital trace numbers to things on the internet. So even if there are duplicates, it's known that that's a duplicate and it isn't assigned to the original.
Okay. I need to get a letter from LeBron that he breathed on my hands.
You need to get it verified in some way. I mean, the other aspect of it is just like trading cards, you basically get in line for a pack. So, you know, you taught me about how like sometimes buying really popular shoes works. Like you basically like queue for it, and then there's a lottery, and then it's like, oh, you get chosen, so you get a chance to buy. And then there's, of course, the reseller market. So this is very similar, where I guess you can queue up to get a pack that might include some cool clips in it.
I mean, if anything ever made me feel out of touch, this is it.
This is for sure.
More power to people, man. I respect the hustle. I can't knock the hustle.
I think there's a really cool way to make this even more appealing to me, which is obviously when you had trading cards, there'd be like, oh, you get the holo card. You remember it's like Michael Jordan, but like you could like flicker with the light or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen any of those clips? This is me being super nerd, but any of those clips where they take like Michael Jordan doing a slam dunk and then taunting afterwards, but then they'll animate on top of it. So like his hair like he gets like Super Saiyan hair, and then like he's on fire and stuff like that. I think if they had some of those mixed in, you'd be like, okay, yeah, I do definitely want the one where he fires a beam out of his eyes after he does a layup. That's what I want.
I'm wondering, can we get into this? Like, would anyone want a digital clip of me doing a dive or something? You know, Shaq powerbombing Cody. Like maybe pro wrestling can get in on this, man. Like, let us make some money. We shouldn't be all late to the game. Let's go. I could buy 10 Kanye-ish hoodies with that money. Let's go. I want the dough. Let's do it. Let's make some money.
Stuff like this is always so weird to me because you think like the athlete is like sitting there watching, and they're like, okay, that's my layup. I did that.
Right.
And some dude named like XX Sniper Ghost butt lover has just made $250,000 trading it online, and you're like, that's my layup. Like,
I mean, I don't know if does LeBron care about? I mean, $250,000. What does he make that when he yawns in the morning?
Yeah, that's true.
But the money. I at the same time, I know no matter how much money you make, because obviously people know we make a ton of it off this show.
Big money.
We're damn near millionaires, pretty much. Like, we're doing so. God, we got so much money. Anyways, we don't want to brag. No,
we don't like to talk about it. Yeah.
No matter how much money you make, it's never enough, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
It's never enough. Never enough.
Agree. This episode of Wrestling with the Week is brought to you by Upstart. You know that credit card, the one that maybe you're afraid to look and see what the balance is? Well, if you've been avoiding your debt, it's time to confront it. Upstart can help you face it and finally pay it off. Upstart is the fast and easy way to get a personal loan to pay off your debt all online. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment. Upstart finds smarter rates with trusted partners because they assess more than just your credit score. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate upfront for loans from $1,000 to $50,000. You can get approved the same day and can receive funds as fast as one business day. If debt is taking over your life, it's time to get a fresh start with Upstart. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payment today when you go to upstart.com/week. That's upstart.com/WEEK. Don't forget to use that URL and let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/week to get started. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this episode. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm always looking at a screen, now more than ever, and whether you're an avid news watcher or in serious need of a distraction, unplugging yourself is easier said than done, but one of my favorite ways to rest my eyes and still get the content I'm itching for? By putting in my Raycon wireless earbuds and listening to something great. Whether you're catching up on your favorite news podcast, binging an audiobook, or powering through your workout with a pumped up playlist, a pair of Raycons in your ears can make all the difference. I have spoken in the past about how I have weird ears and not a lot of earbuds fit or feel comfortable or have good sound in my very specific ears. And I've been using my Raycons and really, really enjoying them. They have this beautiful little case and they're always charged and ready to go. And I can just put them on, keep them in for hours. It's comfortable. It sounds great. I really, really enjoy them. And it allows me to kind of like step away and really take advantage of the fact that they're wireless because there are no dangling wires or stems to get in my way. Raycons come in a range of stylish colorways, but always with a comfortable in-ear fit for a more discreet look. Raycons are built to perform anywhere and anytime with water and sweat-resistant construction and Bluetooth that pairs quickly and seamlessly, and with enough battery life for 6 hours of playtime. You can unplug for as long as you want to. Raycon's offering 15% off all their products for our listeners, and here's what you got to do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com/week. That's it. You'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order. So grab a pair, maybe a spare, and that's 15% off buyraycon.com/week. BUYRaycon.com/week.
Speaking of money.
Speaking of money, I don't know what that segue is.
I bought some new shoes.
You tell me what's... Oh, did you?
I got some new shoes. Actually, I bought 2 pairs for this trip. I've got, I'm wearing a pair right now. I got these Coach sneakers that are incredibly comfortable. For the audio portion of the show, people will not be able to see them, but when you see the video, bam, they're kind of like Stan Smith Adidas, but they're really comfortable, fresh. You can't really tell, but they've got like the Coach logo in on the, so that's kind of cool. They have like white with gray. And also, when I was packing for this trip, I had to repack a couple of times because I only brought about 3 or 4 pairs of shoes. I wanted to bring 6, but at the same time, I know I'm going shopping. So we got a nice shopping trip planned on Monday. Me, the bunny from the butcher, or Blade and Bunny, and Kip Sabian and Penelope. We're gonna get a good group together. We're gonna go shopping, and so I needed to leave some room in my bag because I know I'm gonna buy some more stuff. Most likely some shoes and some clothes. Beautiful. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Just beautiful. When are you doing this? You're doing this next week?
Oh, Monday. Oh, we got it all planned out. We're gonna get a little brunch. We're gonna have get a morning buzz. Have a little like some mimosas or something. The day after the pay-per-view. By the time this airs, it'll be tomorrow. And
I was gonna say that's gonna be really, really nice of them to go shopping with the face of the revolution. That'll be really.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna be wanting to spend some money because I'm in a good mood because I just grabbed the brass ring and I'm gonna be celebrating. And so there's a nice little I don't know if it's like a mall area. They have everything from Dollar Tree to Louis V. So the spectrum is wide, and we're just gonna go kill it. And have you ever been shopping buzzed?
Probably at some point. Yeah, I must have at some point. Yeah.
It's the best. All inhibitions go out the door. You're like, should I get the blue or the pink? It's like, let's get both. Why not? Like, it's just good. So it's good. So maybe next week's episode, I will have, a couple more pairs of shoes. Maybe we'll see.
I have no doubt that you will. You held up your shoe earlier, your new shoes, and I thought of a really funny segment, which would basically be you hold up the shoe for the video watchers, and then I describe the shoe for the audio listeners while you are completely disgusted by my description.
This is good. I like that. That's good. I'm going to bring a great shoe next week then.
Okay. It's white. It has laces. And that's that's what I see.
And you try to guess what brand it is. And
yeah.
That's good. But picture the visual of, and it's like a movie clip. So like you just have a line of people walking. You see me, you see the Blade from Butcher, Blade and Bunny. You see Bunny, you know, and then like Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, and like who else might go with us? Maybe Butcher, which is it's like, and all of us just carrying bags, just like
it's like a scene from Clueless.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Like, it's gonna be good, man.
Oh my gosh,
buzz. It's gonna be fun.
It sounds amazing, but again, like we mentioned, you're gonna have to get through Revolution to get there. And I feel like we should talk about our thoughts on that event. You have a little bit of bias on maybe at least one of these. So, I won't force you to make a prediction, but I wanted to go through this list here. Eric, you want to come out too? I know Eric has some thoughts as well as to if we can
you got
give
the card
our
in front of you, Eric?
Revolution
do
predictions.
I have the card? Listen,
of course he has the card. It's tattooed on his chest.
Guys, I'm ready for the show. I'm excited, and I think that this is good because later today, when this comes out on Sunday, we moved it just for the pay-per-view, just for you guys. So
special edition.
Really interesting because we're gonna have a lot of question marks, and then if you listen to it later in the week, you'll be like, man, they were so off on this thing, but man, how are they right on the money on this other one? So guys, let's start with the pre-show. The buy-in. Riho and Thunder Rosa against Britt Baker and Reba. That's an interesting tag match. To have Reba in there with Britt Baker. Yeah. How you guys feeling about that one?
I'll start with that first. So it's good to see Riho back. Obviously we lost her for months. The first women's champion of the company and an incredible performer, especially for her size. She's like JR. What is he always says? Like, oh, she's 98 pounds. Incredible for her. She may be 98 pounds, but she wrestles like she's 398 pounds. So she's a great performer. So good to see her back. It's always entertaining to see Britt Baker and Reba. Thunder Rosa always brings it. She's hard hitting. But Reba in the ring, I think they're a little bit undermatched. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So James, you want to make a pick? You want to pick Riho and Thunder Rosa, or you want to pick Britt Baker and Reba?
It's tough. It is really tough because I think Britt Baker is a force of nature right now in the women's division in AEW. I think she shows up. I think she's got, we talked a little bit about drive earlier. She views herself when she looks in the mirror. She's a champion, and she's pretty confident. She's maybe some would say overconfident sometimes, but she generally brings it when she's put to the test. So I think if she sees this as a stepping stone to getting where she wants to be in AEW, I wouldn't put it past Britt Baker and Reba. For that,
I think everybody has to. I'm sorry to cut you off. Everybody has to bring it in this one because I will speak from experience. If you aren't on the pay-per-view card, you want to be on the pay-per-view card. And even if you're on the buy-in. If you're not on the buy-in, you want to be on the buy-in. If you're on the buy-in, you want to be on the pay-per-view card. If you want to be on the pay-per-view card, you want to be in a feature match. And if you're not in a feature match, you want to be in the main event. You always want to project up. If you want to be in the main event, if you're already in the main event, then you want to main event every show. So you're always projecting up. So I expect everyone to bring it and prove that they belong on the main card. And that's what they're going to do.
Okay. I like that. This is good. This is a hot start. So, guys, the next thing that we got right here is the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, sponsored by the AEW Casino game for your mobile devices, which you can download now. I don't even think they pay us to say that. I just said it.
Which looks super cool, by the way.
Yeah, I love all these games that AEW is working on right now. It's exciting to have these things trickle out. I think this is great. So, here are some of the teams that I have listed here are the Dark Order, which is John Silver and Alex Reynolds. You have the Dark Order with Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. You also have Santana and Ortiz, Proud and Powerful. You have the Butcher and the Blade, Top Flight, Private Party, and Bear Country. Sky, if you had to pick a team in that grouping, who you going with?
Well, Dark Order has how many teams are in it?
They got 2 teams from Dark Order in this.
So yeah,
thing.
they have the Dark Order as a whole has a better advantage because they've got 4 members of them in there. Top Flight's up there. Butcher and Blade they are highly motivated because they don't want to go into our shopping session with a loss. Nobody wants to do that. So I got to go with Butcher and Blade, man. They got Bunny in the corner. You know, they don't want to go into this shopping spree with a loss. So that's my pick.
Smart. Yeah. I like that. James, what do you think?
So if you had asked me 15 minutes ago, I would have said Santana and Ortiz. I think that they're legendary tag team, and I think that they are more than capable of winning this match. But having heard Sky talk about the post-Revolution plans, I just cannot see Butcher and Blade losing this match, knowing what they have the shopping spree that they have at stake afterwards is just,
I like it. This
highly motivating.
This winners only shopping spree that is going to be taking place is really crazy. Just golden circle shopping spree. I'm excited. Next up, Miro and Kip Sabian against the team of Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. They've been running in circles with each other for months now, and I think it's finally going to come to a head. Miro had a promo on Dynamite where he just said, hey, I'm going to destroy everybody. So is that going to happen? Let's see. I mean, Sky, you said that Kip Sabian might go on the shopping trip. Does that sway your pick here?
Again, you don't want to go into the shopping spree with a loss, man. Nobody wants to take an L and then go spend money. You want to spend money when you're in a good mood. And he's got Miro on his side. And when Miro says he's going to destroy everybody, I believe him. However, Chuck Taylor's got a lot of experience, and Orange Cassidy just has this like X factor about him that somehow he's able to get under everyone's skin. I have been the victim of this in matches in the past, and he's able to get in your mind, and he's able to execute his game plan. And so I expect him to do that. However, I cannot bet against the shopping spree crew. So I'm sticking with my guys. I'm sticking with Kip Sabian and Miro.
Wow. James, are you going to back him on that, or are you going to go the other side?
I'm going to go the other side, but for one reason, and this is not against Kip Sabian at all, but I think the problem is when Miro says he's going to destroy everything, I feel like that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win. I think that means it could theoretically be at the cost of everyone else, including himself, in that ring. I see Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy working better as a team, not necessarily driving wedge. We're going to see some situation. Kip Sabian's going to make a mistake, think that they're on the same page, and then oops, he didn't mean to bump into Miro, and Miro will destroy him, thinking he was just someone from the crowd. Like that's just what he does. And so
that's a good point.
I do think that there's a destructive nature, and it says nothing about necessarily the caliber of Kip Sabian if he gets that loss, and I don't think it should affect his mood when he goes on the shopping spree.
Maybe he'll need to be cheered up.
That's good. That's smart. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Good pick. That's smart. Good pick.
Yep. All right, guys, a handful of matches left. This card is stacked, by the way. Revolution is going to be out of control. Yes. I cannot wait. It's the big money match. With Big Money Matt Hardy and Hangman Page, the winner gets the loser's earnings for all of Q1 2021.
Can I go first?
Absolutely.
Yes.
James, hit us with the knowledge.
I love that this match is on the same card as a match where the ring explodes. I love it.
My thinking is this.
Uh-huh.
The true the two people that are going to lose this match is my shopping spree crew. Because I'm like, why did we not invite Hangman and Matt Hardy? If they're going to get someone else's salary for an entire Q1, they might pick up the check at some of these stores. And I don't know if you've been to a Louis store. It's a little expensive. And so, like, if I could get, like, Matt Hardy's Q1, like, you know, it's like maybe Hangman or Matt Hardy's like, hey, guys, I'll get this one. You get the next one. Oh, that would be, why did I not do it? I got to say.
It might not be too late.
Matt Hardy.
You text Matt. I think that if I had to pick a winner on this one, I think I'm going to go Matt Hardy again because the motivator. Because the motivating factor, I think you see Hangman Page. He's a champion, right, in the making, and like he's ready. He's basically a wrestler. Okay, Matt Hardy has been in this business a really long time, and he knows he's thinking longevity on this. And so, if his motivation is getting that cash, he's going to go for the cash. Whereas you might see Page try and win the match, not necessarily thinking about the cash that's at stake. It's like an afterthought for him, if it makes sense.
Smart.
That is smart.
I think that's it's very interesting. Hangman's been on a tear, but Matt Hardy's been a real thorn in his side. So I think that's going to be a really great match. But now we move on to the match that I need a real true prediction on. The 6-man face of the Revolution, take 2. The 6-man face of the Revolution ladder match. We're not cutting that. It's Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Penta El Zero Miedo, Lance Archer, now Max Caster, and a mystery 6th entrant. That is wild.
Which, can I just say?
Yeah.
Paul White did say that a Hall of Fame worthy talent will be debuting on Revolution. And if we don't know who this last entrant is,
you think it's going to be that?
It could be. I'm just saying there's space for it, right?
Yeah.
So
there's definitely space.
If 1 and 1 makes 2, and these two things are connected, and Paul White is going to introduce a Hall of Fame level talent that is going to be in this ladder match, there's only one person that I can possibly think of that this could be. El Dandy.
What?
El Dandy.
Who are you to doubt El Dandy?
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? I think it's going to be El Dandy. El Dandy is all elite.
He's a jam-up guy.
He is not the face nor the mask of the Revolution because that's me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Bet on it.
James,
you have to make a pick.
I'm picking Sky. Of course I'm picking Sky. He's got a shopping spree. He's the face of the Revolution. Okay? 50% of him. That's all I got to say.
You're right. If I'm a betting man, my money's on Sky. I think you've been fired up. You've been on TV. You've been talking the right kind of trash to get in everyone's head. Cody's got to be feeling hurt after getting powerbombed by Shaq and then putting him through 2 tables. He rode. They showed that replay, and Cody rode Shaq through those 2 tables, and that must have felt so bad. That must have sucked.
Well, it was probably fun for like
up.
the first half second, like the first millisecond. It was like, I'm riding Shaq, and then you hit the tables, and then you go, ow. This hurts.
I'll be honest with you, and I'm not just trying to sell a fight. I felt really good these last few weeks as I've been getting back in shape with the upper and lower body, and I'm going to go to the ring this week, and I'm going to work out with a couple of young guys. Lee Johnson's going to help me get in shape.
Nice.
I feel really good, man, and I feel like it's my time. And again, I'm not just selling a fight. I feel like it's my time. I've been overlooked, and for too long, and so it's on me. Now I have to go out and back up everything I'm saying here and everything I said on Dynamite this past week. And I fully plan on doing that. Not planning on doing it, I'm gonna do it, and hopefully come out victorious.
That's what I like to hear. Man, I can't wait. That's the match. Listen, I know one of the matches has exploding barbed wire, but that's the match I'm looking forward to. That's the one that I can't wait for. But moving on to the card, that's what I'm talking about. All right, we got a couple more. Hikaru Shida is the women's champion. And she will be taking on the winner of the Eliminator Tournament, Riho Mizunami, who was my dark horse pick to win the whole thing. I don't think people knew enough about Riho Mizunami. She brings the party, but she also just throws people around. She's a hard-hitting slugger. You saw them in Dynamite when Riho presented the trophy, and then they just laid into each other with those forearms. James, I want to let you pick first. Who you got? Hikaru Shida or Riho Mizunami? Who's your pick?
I think the fact that Riho made it all this way is completely apropos. She's brutal. She's got energy. You saw her exploder suplex Nyla Rose, just energy, just power, right? Which is something you don't always see from just an imposing, fast-moving women's wrestler. That being said, Hikaru Shida, I think she's just technically there. She's just she's got this prowess in the ring, and I think we're going to see her probably push to her limit, maybe more so than we ever have with this match. I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight, but I think at the end of it, she is going to remain the AEW Women's Champion.
Wow, that's a bold prediction. Sky, does shopping factor into this at all, or you just have to make a straight pick?
Straight pick. And again, I don't know as much about Riho as you do, but I will say this from personal experience. There's a difference between beating contenders and facing a champion. That's very, very different when you get in there. It's totally different. And Shida's a champion. Shida's taken on all contenders. Shida's got momentum. Momentum is huge. It is very hard for me to see Shida losing this match. It's possible. It could happen. Anything can happen. However, my smart money is on Shida.
Interesting. Those are good picks. I think Mizunami is really going to surprise a lot of people because she's gotten farther than I think a lot of people thought she would. She beat Aja Kong to get here, and that should really say something to a lot of people. That is crazy to go through Aja Kong. But guys, we got to keep running down this card. You know, it's the tag team champions match. Listen, Sky's going to have some insight here as the former first ever AEW tag team champion. I mean, I got to know who your pick is. You got the Young Bucks, the current tag team champions. Are they the best tag team in the world? Maybe. Against MJF and Chris Jericho, a newer tag team, a little bit unproven, but you saw what they did to Papa Buck, leave him bloodied in the back of an ambulance. It's crazy. And we saw what the Young Bucks are capable of, putting Santana and Ortiz through some tables on Dynamite. So, Sky, who you got in this tag team championship match?
When all the money's on the line and it's the big show, we're talking pay-per-view, we're talking high stakes. You saw what happened to Papa Buck. My money's on the Young Bucks. I do not bet against the Young Bucks when it's a tag team match, when it's a tag team title match, and when the stakes are as high as they are, I don't bet against the greatest tag team in wrestling history, the Young Bucks.
Wow. James, what do you think?
I'm completely inclined to agree. I would also add that as legendary as Chris Jericho may be, I do think that we have seen the inner circle not be as strong as we thought it once was.
Great point.
I think this is the kind of thing where, it's two huge egos, and that's how they've gotten this far. But two huge egos in the ring together on the same side doesn't always yield the best results. You add that with the fact that they beat up his dad, right? They beat up. So there's too much motivation in this fight. There's too much at stake. This isn't just about the championships. There's more on the line in this match. And I think if someone's going to bring it, it's going to be the Young Bucks. Yeah,
I'm curious to see how the team of MJF and Jericho are going to hold up. I don't think I could trust MJF as far as I could throw him. So, he always feels like he's scheming, and see if he wheels and deals in this match. Guys, 2 matches left. It's Team Taz, the team of Brian Cage, an absolute Ricky Stark, stroke daddy himself, against Sting and Darby Allin. Guys, who you got in this tag match? Sky, let's start with you. What's your insight here?
This is a tough one, honestly. It's a really tough pick. We got to see what we're going to get from Sting. I still believe he's got, as Rocky says, some stuff left in the basement. And we're going to see that. We actually have seen it a little bit over the last few weeks. We saw the Stinger Splash come back. We saw the Scorpion Deathlock come back. I think we're going to see a lot more at this match. And I'm going to go with Darby and Sting. I'm going to go with the TNT champion. And I'm going to go with the legendary Hall of Fame, one of the best, biggest and greatest wrestlers of all time, Sting.
All right. James, you feeling the same way, or you think Team Taz is going to pull off this street fight?
If this fight, the problem is the street fight element to this, right? If this were just a straight up, we got a referee in there making sure everything stays clean and fair, then I would go Sting and Darby 100%. But because it's a street fight, I feel like when you're going up against someone as legendary as Sting, you're gonna feel desperate, and that desperation is gonna make you do some crazy things. And I would say that Sting would be less likely to go to that place as Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. So I'm gonna say Brian Cage. I'm gonna say Team Taz on this one. Honestly,
I like it.
Think,
yeah.
It's gonna be through pure brutality and desperation and fear that they might pull out this victory.
I think you're onto something. I think you got some insight there. That what's Hook gonna do?
My phone's blowing off the hook.
Yeah, smart. So, guys, the last match, we're moving on. It's the main event of AEW Revolution. The champion, Kenny Omega, against the challenger, Jon Moxley, for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship in an exploding barbed wire death match. And in the video package for it that they showed on Dynamite, they got Onita to come on and talk about how crazy this match is. You talk about a pop, I was losing my mind. I thought that was so cool. But guys, James, I want to start with you. What do you think? What is the outcome of the exploding barbed wire death match? Kenny Omega is the one who said, let's have this match. Jon Moxley is ready, willing, and able to put his body on the line. Who walks out with that championship?
You know what? I think we're going to see two bodies, two brutal, just utterly collapsed bodies in the center of whatever's left of that ring. I think that the champion will still be Kenny Omega when the smoke clears. And I don't know. Honestly, this almost feels like a fortune teller getting a premonition, right? I don't know how, because I think Jon Moxley is going to bring it, and I think he's going to just completely. He might blow up the ring before the timer does. Let's just put it that way. So there's that kind of energy in this fight. And so I think that there's definitely going to be something there, but for somehow, some way, I just have a premonition that Kenny Omega is going to remain with the championship once this is done.
Wow. Sky, what do you think? This is the last prediction. This is for the World Heavyweight Championship. You think Moxley's walking out with this thing, or you think Kenny Omega retains?
This is the one I'm really torn on, because on one side, I feel this match favors Moxley. He's a little bit more, he has the hardcore background. I think he's a little bigger than Kenny. I think he might be a little bit tougher in situations like this, and I think he wants it more. However, again, momentum. Kenny's got the Good Brothers. I don't know, maybe they're going to get involved, maybe they're not. They're an X factor. It's really, really hard for me to pick one. If I had to make a choice, I would go Jon Moxley. Because I think, again, I just think this match favors him. He's bigger. This is right up his alley. This is a Moxley type of win. Maybe becoming the first two-time AEW World Champion we've had. So,
wow, guys. Those are some good predictions. Those are strong predictions. And that's why we put this out before the show. We wanted to make sure this came out before the pay-per-view, because we wanted to have these predictions on there, so that way you can watch it before the show and go, oh wow, I can't wait for the show, and then you can watch it after the show and go, how are these guys so wrong?
Yeah, I was gonna say, we would have looked real stupid if this came out the day after.
Except for the ladder match prediction.
That one's locked in. Yeah, ain't no one stopping. You could put the sixth entrant could be a tiger, and I think that Sky's still walking out with that thing, man. That's
the sixth entrant could be the tiger, and I'm still walking out the king.
Wow! Look at that. Put this guy on TV. Put this guy on TV.
50%.
My goodness, guys!
I can't wait till next week's episode 9, when I am sitting here as the face of the revolution on Wrestling with the Week, the future TNT champion, the future face of TNT. Everything's going so well. I've got new shoes. I've got new clothes. I'm styling. I'm just killing the game. I'm so excited for episode 9. Come on, tune in next week. It's going to be big.
$90 hoodie.
Yeah. Let's go. I might even drop a honey on this one. A big celebration. I might find a hoodie and drop a honey.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for listening to this episode of Wrestling with the Week. If you are listening to this, we hope you check this out on Sunday before Revolution. Tweet us, send us messages, shoot us a message on Instagram or whatever. Let us know whether or not you think we are completely wrong about our predictions, or if you agree with us, you can reach this podcast at WWTW Pod, basically everywhere. You can also find Sky and I at Scorpio Sky or James Willem's Feet if you want to touch up with us on Instagram. And yeah, that's our show this week. Next week, you've heard it, we'll have an exclusive interview with the face of the Revolution. I'm very excited about that. And yeah, thank you so much. Sky, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Normally, I would go out. I'd be very appreciative of everybody listening to the show, and I am, trust me, but I'm extra motivated. I'm telling you, I'm feeling really good, so I'm going to go out like this. This is the face of the Revolution. Get used to it.
Hold on, does he know we still need a clap sync at the end? We got ad-reads to do, Sky.
Oh no! All right, take your credit.
Sorry.
Oh, guys.
Sorry, I forgot. We gotta pay some bills.